to another 3 Minutes at 3.
Today we're going to talk about setting up your table and displays at shows.
So setting up your table and displays at shows can really attract a lot of business to your booth. Now there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Big key here is don't get too gimmicky with things. You know, not a lot of sales signs or great big poster boards or things like that. You want to take and do your best to highlight the items that you have to offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one way you can do this is doing tiers on your table. So this may be, require a little bit of woodworking on your part or ingenuity, but you can do kind of like what looks like stair steps, starting from lower to going up to highest, maybe 2 or 3 of those. Mm-hmm. That gives a little bit height variety for you to put your items on.
Yeah, because ultimately anything that's laying flat, anything that's laying flat on a table speaks more of like a garage sale or a flea market type thing where, people just kind of scatter some things on a table that they just pulled out of a box. Mm-hmm. So anything that you can do to take and put it on maybe little racks, little hand-forged racks, even better. That's what you really need to take and be doing there, is do some hand-forged racking of some sort. Not only does that illustrate your skills, but that's also a great place to hang necklaces and things and keychains, that dangly bits that you have made, right? The multi-tiered platforms allows, again, to give your table some more dimension and some more depth.
Yes. And also everything doesn't have to be displayed on a singular table. In a lot of cases, you could do like an L-shaped or a U-shaped where they walk into the booth space or the area where you're set up to look at your items and interact with you. You can also do freestanding stands that are made where if you have anything that's larger that hangs, that it can hang from pegs that come off of that or something of that nature.
Yeah, and another great way is if you're doing a demonstration at the same time, it would be good to do somewhat more of a U shape. So kind of like a horseshoe shape where they can come in, and then right next to that is the demo area. Once again, the longer you can keep them at your booth, the better. The longer that the person's at your booth, the longer they have a chance to take and make a buying decision on the ironwork that you're offering at the table. So think about ordering a placement. Maybe you need to buy an extra booth space, buy your booth space and the one right next to you. That way you have enough space to really fully set out and bring and really cultivate that atmosphere.
Yes, one other thing to point out, a floor-length table cloth is very nice as you can store your boxes and your storage stuff underneath, and it doesn't look cluttered.
It looks very professional that way, and then you keep everything back underneath them tables like that as well. One last tip here is you want to make sure that you take and have somebody working that booth for you. If you're a one-man show, pay somebody to take and help you if they can, because at fairs and venues, it's not too common that something small and snatchable will walk off the table. Whether this be by intent, malicious intent, or on accident. Sometimes people had something in their hand and they said, I'm just going to go look over here for a minute, and they forgot to put it back on the rack when they were looking and talking to you, and things happen that way.
Yeah. Plus, it's very hard to check people out when you're demonstrating.
Yes, so. It's very hard to interact with people at the same time while you're keeping the demonstration alive and going.
Yeah. So I think that'll wrap up this 3 Minutes at 3.
We thank you all for being here.
Glad to have you join us.
And like always, God bless you.
And we'll catch you on the next one.